A few words from the Deputy Prime Minister, Boris Kolesnikov. Пожалуйста.
My question is to Manny. Should Ukraine have cancelled the event, in your opinion?
To actually withdraw from the games? You're asking Manny if Ukraine should withdraw?
Withdrawn with the game?
This is a decision for Ukrainians to take and not for Indians to advise you. But this I'll tell you, holding these championships in order to improve the health of your economy is like giving aspirin for a case of AIDS. The answer does not lie in holding a one-off sporting event along with Poland.
But you don't want to give him any advice about whether Ukraine could even now cancel, withdraw?
I think it would be presumptuous of me to give any advice to Ukraine on what it should do, as I would regard it as somewhat presumptuous for the Ukrainians to tell me whether we should have withdrawn from the games. I think we should have, but then not even Indians listen to me, so why would I expect the Ukrainians to do so?
Lord Mandelson.
You know, to be honest, if that's the sort of advice you gave the Indian people, I'm surprised they didn't listen to you, because I think for Ukraine to withdraw from these games, to cancel their hosting of Euro 2012 would be an absolute disaster for this country. And I'm afraid I am unambiguous about that, and I will say it very forthrightly. What would it say about a country? So I say to you, Ukraine doesn't suffer from AIDS, as you say, and it doesn't therefore need an aspirin. What it does need is a big boost for its economy. It needs to know that Ukraine is a welcoming people, open for business, ready to bring investment and new jobs and employment to its country, and that's what these games are clear.
In the case of India, if my advice had been listened to and we'd withdrawn, we'd have not been in a situation where from an initial projected expenditure of $500 million, we went up to $18 billion simply because of the false prestige involved. Is this distortion of national values and national priorities?
Markian, and that's Markian, and it's related. It's related. Markian, come in. It's related to the question about, based on economic calculations, whether you recover costs. Please.
I want just to make a very short remark. To take the euro from Ukraine is not an issue. It's reality. Ukraine will host in Poland euro in 2012. This is done. Was it a popular decision when you made the bid? Yeah, for sure. So it was something that the masses backed. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure of that. So, and one more thing to give a reply to. So the total amount of direct costs for UEFA Euro 2012 for Ukraine is only 750 million of US dollars, and I'm speaking only about 2 stadia, because the rest, I mean, new airports and money. You are absolutely right. This is the obligation of state to construct new airports, so that's why I'm not counting that. So,
well, DiPolo said that in South Africa they built a new airport in Johannesburg that they didn't particularly need.
You know, I visited South Africa last year, so I think that Leopoldo is the only unhappy person from South Africa.
He liked the airport, DiPolo.
Everybody was happy there.
We may have looked happy for that moment, Marikana, but I mean, the reality is that the economy has not benefited in any way from that. And don't mistake euphoria for joy, and don't mistake it for success, ultimately. And I think that nobody has answered the gentleman with the red tie about the visa. I think that's a very important question, because it is linked to belonging. It is linked to a different kind of belonging and welcomingness. And that's a very critical question. What is the marker of belonging that these games tend to bring to nations, to continents? What is the marker of inclusivity? And what is the marker of citizenship, of being part of a larger community? If I had the choice personally between easy mobility around the world versus kicking a ball around and watching sporting events that I could watch on DSTV, I think I would go for the easy mobility. But that's just me.